If you've got an F-series laser from xTool, then this is a video just for you. xTool have just stealthily announced a huge update for the F-series lasers, and this is something that has the potential to completely transform your workflow. It's called ACS, and they literally announced it in a video under the radar. I've had a practice of it, I like it, I wanted to show you guys it immediately, so stick around and I'll show you that. And I also have a little bit of a secret to share with you guys, so if you want to know that as well, stick around to the end. Let's get straight to it. In this demonstration, we'll be using the F2, but as mentioned, it works with the F2 Ultra UV, the normal F2, which isn't there, and it doesn't work with the F1 Ultra as far as I know, so that is point to note there. We've got 3 different sets of materials. I've had these lying around for a little while now, and it just so happens that this ACS feature is optimized to work with xTool materials. However, before you leave the video, because you don't have them, it also works with non-xTool materials. I'll show you all of them just so you can get a good idea, and we are using the F2 in this video. So let's get started. We are in xTool Studio. The first thing you need to do is click on the little cog bit up here, and we want to check what version software of xTool Studio we have. So scroll down to the bottom, and just in this area here, it will tell you your current version. Mine is 1.8.14. You need that version for this to work. So assuming you have that version, click the new project button in the top right. It will connect to your F-series machine because, like I said, this works with F-series machines. So what we need to do now is we need to enable this new ACS mode. To do that, in the top right, once you're connected to your machine, you will see a little device settings button. Select that, and then on the left, select device settings, and then you will get loads of different settings. So the one we need in this case is called auto mode. You'll see there by default, it will probably be off. So turn it on, and what you will get now, and I'll show you, it will give you an explanation of how this works. So it looks like it detects the material, focuses itself, scans where it is, and then it should place the design on the material. So there is one other option you can configure, and that is what type of auto mode you're using. So you've got close enclosure trigger. So when you close the lid, it will automatically start doing it, or there is the manual trigger one. So I'm going to use close enclosure trigger here, just because that is probably what a lot of people would like to use. But there is the manual option. Now we're back on our workspace, and you will see by default now, auto mode is selected and it's showing the animation. So just for the record, if you ever want to turn this off and return to where you were, hit that off button there, and as you'll see here, it will go back to normal. We're going to be using that leaf that you saw a minute ago, which is an xTool selected material. But first, we're going to get a design and import it onto this so that we can engrave it on there. So let's select a design first. So in this case, I've got a really old photo of my wife's grandfather from his World War II portrait. Be a good one to test. So we're going to roughly size our image how big we want it. And now what we're going to do is move over to the machine, and we're going to set things up. As I mentioned, we've got these leaves, and they come with this little QR code. So there are older QR codes, which I'll show you here. These ones I don't think are compatible with this new feature. It has to be one of these new ones with the green xTool logo on it. And we're going to use that, and we're going to take one of these. We're going to place the leaf inside. Obviously the F2 is quite small for this, so I am going to do a sacrificial thing and cut it down so that it fits within. And then the other thing we need to do is make sure our QR code is within the camera area like that. Now, one thing I want to highlight, you need to make sure that the laser dots are on the actual object. Mine aren't focused. We don't have to worry about that because it will take care of that for us. So we have our design ready. We have our leaf ready. What we are going to do now is close the lid. And what you should see is it will automatically start focusing itself first. Then it will detect the size of the leaf. It should detect the QR code, and it should tell us what material it is, as you can see right there. Click apply, and then what it should also do is move our design to the center of that item like it just did. So that is really, really cool. The leaf isn't the ideal thing to show it on, but it is the only thing I had lying around. That's an xTool selected item, but it's a really good example of how you could use this at a trade show if you're just putting the same items in. Now, one thing I would love to see it do in the future, which it didn't do in this video, is auto adjust the picture based on the material it selects. That would be really, really cool to do that. So looking over here, you can see it has applied the material as cinnamon leaf. It has assigned blue light, 80 dot duration, 68 power, 500 DPI. Those are the settings that xTool recommend. And this is great if you are at a trade show or if you're somewhere where you ultimately want a quick, repeatable customer experience. This is where I think this could be really beneficial. So all we need to do now is auto adjust, and it should invert the image, which it will do for this kind of leaf. So using the settings it's given us, the positioning it's given us, let's process it, let's do it, and we'll see what the results are like, and then we'll move on to the next example. So here we go, let's take a look. That is exactly where we wanted it. And as you can see, it looks great. I think I should have just made it a bit bigger. Let's move on. Now, one other thing I mentioned is you can actually use this on non-xTool materials. So if we just delete that, we're going to import our material. We're going to use this one, and it says, "Into the forest I go." So I'll put it on there. I'm going to put it into the top right this time. It's approximately that side. We don't know if it's going to fit or not. So what we'll do now is we'll go over to the machine in the same way. We're going to load in a leather patch, and let's see what it does with a non-xTool material. So here is a generic PU leather patch. I am just going to place it roughly in the middle there. We're going to close that lid in a second and we'll see what happens. So our material is placed. Our design's ready to go. We'll now close the lid. And what should happen, it should autofocus again. It will scan the item, and then based on its scan, it should position our logo in the right place. Let's see what happens. There you go. It works great. So credit to you, xTool, for not making this locked to your own materials. I love your materials, xTool. They are very good quality, but the fact is, you know, in a real world, we can't always have them. So it's brilliant that it does work with these materials as well. So the one thing you don't get is the auto detection because there isn't a QR code. So what we would do is manually go in there, select our material, and if you want to adjust, you would. But based on that, you know, you can now use it. So once again, this is still really beneficial in a high impact, fast environment like a trade show. So let's hit the process button and see how this one turns out as well. So here we go. The engraving looks great, but let's go and compare it to what we had on the screen, and that looks spot on to me. For the final example, we're going to get a round object. I'm going to get a round design, and I want to see how well it centralizes it. I am going to put this off center so it focuses there. I'm going to put my design here. Let's see how good it is. So I've imported a round design. I'm going to put it in the bottom right so that it is pretty much away from where our object is. So we're going to close that lid now. And what it should do, again, I expect it to autofocus, take the picture, but the question is, will it put the image in the right position on the off-centered object? Let's find out. So there you go, the picture. And there we go, it has positioned the item. That is excellent. Now we should engrave it and see how accurate it is. But before we do that, we need to manually change our material. This is bamboo, so we're going to apply it. So let's process it. Let's see what happens. Let's take a look then. So in terms of positioning, it is spot on down this axis. It's a little bit lower, but overall, I'm really, really impressed considering we had this over here, our design over here, and it's centrally located on it for the most part. Very, very practical and very, very impressive. So there you go, ACS in a nutshell. It has a lot of potential. I think the fact that you can use it with normal materials and also the xTool selected materials is going to be really useful, especially if you're at a craft show or somewhere where you need automation and you need quick, easy setup. You can let people put their items in. They'll literally load it, the design will be put in place, and you can print it with those suggested settings. So now for that little secret that I told you about. So at the moment, you see me using that QR code, but a little birdie told me, and I'm not really meant to give too much information on this, that xTool are actually developing a really advanced auto material recognition system with the F-series lasers where the camera would detect the type of material and then auto apply the settings. So that's a huge potential update coming our way. Let's hope it's true. If you found this video helpful, please help support the channel by subscribing, liking, and even commenting down below. Let me know what you think about this new software update. And also, if you would like to purchase any xTool machines or accessories or materials, there is an affiliate link in the description that you can use that helps support this channel to allow me to keep making these helpful videos for you. But without further ado, guys, have a lovely day and I'll see you again soon.